The medical field, they have a scale for their comas. I was very unfamiliar with the comas. You think, this is coma, this is out of coma. Well, there's a scale, and it's called the Glasgow Coma Scale. And the lowest number is 3. I don't know why it's not 0 or 1, but it's 3. And Kristin was admitted under the GCS of 3. And the prognosis for those are very slim. We were told, that's Kristin, she's actually still in a coma. So just because the eyes are open, that you're just actually going up in the scale for your comas. This is when Kristin was unable to make any expressions. It was like a blank stare. You really didn't know what was going on. Let's see, she was in a coma for about a month. I don't know how much, if Alfy has shared what her actual accident was. Have you?
No, that's what that's why I had the PowerPoint set up to go that route.
Well, Kristin was traveling in Houston and on 45 and going north, and right where the 288-59 splits from 45, Kristin was in the far right lane, and a car had decided that they really needed to go 45 north instead of the 288-59 split. And so the girl hit the barrels, the dividing barrels, and went 2 lanes over. It forced Kristin's car right here.
This is it. So if you're going north on 45 near downtown Houston, there's a 288-59 split right there. And so again, like she's saying, they'll show the barrels. The young lady was on the left-hand lane and wanted to go north, and was, unaware where she needed to give decided at the last minute where she needed to go, and she struck the barrels here, and as you can see there, struck the barrels. And these are actually shots from the police department. Now, at this point in time, though, this here is after the fact, but at this point in time, they didn't know that it was a 2-car accident because Kristin's car had gone over the bridge,
right.
over the ledge.
It was forced up and over the retaining wall.
And as you can kind of see how high it is, it's at least 80 feet.
Right, it was about an 80-foot drop that her car went. This is the other car.
Yeah, right there. So, and again, at this point in time, they hadn't known what it had, thought it was just a single car accident. Now, Officer Ellis was the officer that was working that night, extra overtime, he said. And he stated that he was in an area where he was not supposed to be.
Okay, this, I'm sorry. It's actually, that's not the bridge she came off of. It was, it's that one up there, yeah.
Trying to pause it there.
And that's where her car had landed.
Space pause.
This is her actual car here.
Okay. Did everyone get a good view of that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's her car there.
And it actually landed on all fours. It landed.
She was going north, and when the car hit her car, it forced it over the wall. And as it, the momentum through it, the car fell back going south and hit the road and went back, onto the grass there. And
and so the jaws of life had to remove her.
So, and again, Kristin herself is not a drinker as well. So, and this was the actual night of the accident there. I'm good. And so I got some day shots here. That's Again, later there. Keep rolling there. Again, the brother and sister, the sister-in-law.
Kristin went from, she was a NCAA All-American cheerleader. So,
She was in a hospital there for her brother and her cousin's graduation.
Yeah.
They graduated that year. So we were still in a hospital at that time.
right.
That's mom, dad again, and my nieces and my sister in the back. Again, this is one of the stints. We were at TIER, this one here, going through physical therapy, several times.
She's had a lot of progress, but she's had a lot of, few backward steps. She still is unable to walk. That's something that the therapists have said that she's going to be able to. She's just, we feel now that she's kind of at a plateau medically she's had so many surgeries from, she suffered the traumatic brain injury as well as a L1 burst fracture. So, her vertebrae just literally it was like pulverized, and it pierced her spinal cord, but it didn't sever. So she does have movement of her legs. She does have feeling. She has some deficits. So it's just a hard road that she's having, to commit to the therapies, to working through the pains and.
The city of Tech City had a benefit for us, and they did an outstanding job for us that with support and all too. That was at one of the local restaurants there. They had a little bin. Again, that's the spot of the accident.
She was in her second year of college. Her dream was to be a lawyer. That's what she had wanted. That's what she aspired to be. So she's, her life is, her dreams have had to be put on hold. And our real wish is just that if seeing this can just impact your decision, it's well worth sharing this with you. Alfy was so correct when it doesn't just affect her. It won't just affect you. It affects communities. It affects families, friends. We're very fortunate that we've had a really strong support system. But
This was her first shower like after 2 months. She's actually got to go in the shower, and they roll in the shower there in the shower bed. And that's Dad again at the house. Okay. All right, without escape here. That's a pretty picture. Okay, well, I apologize again for, I don't know what happened to my PowerPoint. Actually, when they hooked the thing up, it wiped it out for me. But I had it set up, it was ready to go, and we would have, again, I could have gone through some times of it, in chronological order in order to follow along with us. But to say that, again, perhaps the impact is just that it'll give you that sense of encouragement to go that extra mile or do that extra thing, because it's, you're either the victim or the perpetrator. In this aspect, you got a big challenge ahead of you of possibly being the perpetrator of causing something as tragic as this. The young lady that caused this accident was drinking, but the officer, when he found out that that Kristin's car had got knocked over the ledge, we spent several weeks looking for the file. I mean, several weeks. They couldn't find it at HPD anywhere. And they finally found it in the fatality tray. He had already counted off as gone. It was actually in the fatality tray where we found the actual file. So he did not. She didn't get a citation for failure to control speed or anything. She got a unsafe lanes change. Period. Unsafe lanes change. Period. Kristin was still in the coma when when Houston subpoenaed us to court. The young lady showed up with a lawyer. I think she got fined $300 and maybe community service, I think.
No, it was defensive driving.
Defensive driving? Okay. That's it. Of course, they had the bare minimum insurance on their, on their car. Of course, in medical bills alone, that was, it was not even a lick on a lollipop. So, but I still stand firm and proud and encouraged and inspired to let you know, look, why does these things happen sometimes? Why do they happen? I don't know. We have a strong belief and faith in our God. She's still here with us. We're going through a whole lot, 10 years into it now. But she's good. She has her sense of humor still. Short-term memory is coming back, but she remembers everything from the past. She don't remember. You remember the accident, Chris? Well, the love, the support that we have, and again, and to be here, it's all purposeful. There's divine reason for it. I mean, whether you're frustrated, whether you're angry, I hope this inspires you to take a second thought before you maybe drink or such, or even to say that. Because to me, there's a spirit inside inside drugs, inside alcohol. My pastor told me, I heard this when I was, I guess, younger, and he said, and it just stuck with me. He said, the reason I don't drink is because I want to be aware of what I'm doing at all times. I want to be aware of what I'm doing at all times, and that kind of made sense to me because because when you get that drug or that alcohol, something else takes over you. You lose something. And again, the young lady, did you think anything happened to her physically? Not at all. She was not. I think she might have a scrape, but not at all. Nothing else at all. So, when we stop to think about it, it kind of a little dagger in it, but we're good. We've moved it out, and we're able to move forward and we pray for. But usually that's what it seemed like how it happens a lot of times. That's how it happens a lot of times. So I pray and again hope that this has been a source of encouragement, a source not a source of encouragement, because again, the impact I believe to physically see and experience someone that you can actually touch versus seeing it on television or hearing about it is real impactful. So my prayer and our hope for you is that it does encourage you and it does inspire you. I mean, because, it's not easy, and I'm not going to say it's easy. I understand it, but living fact about my dad, of course, and again, when it comes to family, and likewise with yourself, be patient with your family as well. Don't try not to get too angry when they might say, or whatever the case, they might make you angry to the degree, because I can, it's different hearing it from me than it is from your own loved one. Because like with telling my dad about it, or even asking him, Dad, could you get some help? Or it doesn't sound good, my son, telling me what I need to do, because he's hearing different from what I'm saying, possibly, and they may not be hearing the love that you are, or that they may be expressing to you. You may not hear that love, but of course, again, I want to say I know it's not easy. So my prayer for you is that you keep up the good fight, keep working at it, and again, keep us in your prayers, and we'll go from there. Any questions about anything? Anybody? And Kristin, you want to say anything? She has dystonia. Right now, Kristin has she has a deep brain stimulator because she has dystonia. One of the surgeries, the doctor went back in behind the Duragraft that they initially put on her skull had meshed into her brain. And so one of the doctors went back in to try to remove some of it, and actually caused more problems than he did good. So she has she was left-handed, but now she has a left deficit on her, or with her fine motor skills and the such. So, but like I say, she has a deep brain stimulator because her mouth, at one point in time, she could not, her mouth would just open up on its own. And she really has to work and concentrate as she's going down to keep her mouth closed, because it'll just open up on its own. So the brain stimulator, she has a little battery right here. She has a baclofen pump that's in her stomach right here that's connected to her spine. And the baclofen just kind of helps try to relieve some of the muscle spasticity or in her joints. So 4701. I believe that's, and she has shunts. A shunt from that's again to relieve some of the liquid that's inside our brain. It helps relieve it. It's coming from her neck down into her stomach. That helps remove some of the fluid off the brain. We're giving a good old Marine Corps fight, and we're in the battle still. We should have our, she's still a woman too. Guys, you know what? There's like 4 or 5 women in here, and there's about 10, 20 of us, and we're still outnumbered. we're still outnumbered. So working with her and it is what it is. So, yes, sir. Brother Cordova. Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry what happened to you, man. God bless. God bless you.
And brother, I don't want you to I thank you for your compassion. Don't feel sorry about me, because life is life. There was a young man in Santa Fe right around the time of our situation that it appears that he drove off the road trying to avoid maybe hitting somebody, ran into a tree, and his parents found him the next day, but he was dead. So, what we've gone, not trying to downplay anything, but, life is, but we experience what we experience for the service of others. That's why we're here right now, to serve you, to encourage one another, because that's what it's all about. It's about helping one another. That's what the police, the firemen, we should, and yourself, that's why we joined the military, to serve our country. So it's all about service. It's all about service. All right. Any other questions on this? All right. Well, thank you, brothers and sisters, for your time. And again, hey, give a good old military charge. Let's keep working and make it happen. All right. All right. Thank you.